When Concord was released in 2024, the details of the game led it to be one of the most disastrous occurrences for a video game during the 2020s. While various aspects of the game were assumed or disregarded, from information now known, most of the sentiment hardened that the game could have been potentially important, but wasn't. But the speculative scenario is this: Concord could have been more than it was. At the time when the game was released, its astonishing cancellation naturally had most of the anger towards the game, which were details relating to the characters that could have been selected for play. But later opinions had the sentiment be from frustration from the fact that Concord had potential, but this potential was never truly realized. Details had that what people were interested in were the scope of what could have been, but what started to frustrate critics and potential players were early decisions to turn the game into methods of play seen in Street Fighter or Overwatch. Season passes or battle passes that unlock features, skins, or even characters for further selection choices in playable matches. Developers of Concord commented that the whole hero shooter aspect of the game was a direct copy or imitation of the Overwatch premise, but claims were also that heroes and heroines were more adaptable to avoid the toxicity that naturally consumed the player base of Overwatch. Critics and potential players also weren't satisfied with the lack of selectable characters when the game was launched. Also, due to modern hero shooting games, the opinions were that a good roster of characters that were relatable or interesting had to be available as soon as possible, but in the sense of Concord, none of this occurred. With this in mind, developers also held that more features of the game were to have been steadily brought out through the lifespan of the game, as this also frustrated potential players that wanted a substantial premise for playing immediately to justify time spent on playing the game as well as in-game purchases. Information had that the vague details for the characters or even the lore of the game were intentional, as premise for the game and characters would have been released sporadically, and there would have been potential character arcs that would have been promoted game-wide. A final aspect of discussion had potential players so disappointed or even angry with what could have been, opinions had the said characters even be presented or later reimagined through imaging-based technology.